it's a good and bad thing too, because on one end you want it to be quicker, better, faster, but the world doesn't work like that. Monopolies are slow-moving behemoths. This is that tsunami of innovation that AI is bringing to the table that you keep hearing about. I don't know, my sidekick. Agent mode right there, agent mode. So on agent mode, I can be like, find me a database of the top coconut milk producers in Vietnam and give me all their contact information, right? Boom, I just send that, and now it'll go on, and it's going to be an agent who's like a whole bunch of AI people all working together to put together a master document with all the information about who I want to talk to. Now, it should take, like, it's going to go through a whole sequence here. It's going to tell me what it's doing. It's going to send me push notifications. Like, right now, it's thinking. So we can let this sit here, and we can just talk about this for a second while it does its thinking. Here we are, we're on GPT-5 right now, still moving forward. It's been a couple minutes, and it's opening up coconut milk provider lists. There's an actual AI avatar guy thing in the machine going out there and looking all over the internet and its databases and whatever model it's tied to, and it's learning about Vietnam coconut milk producers. And it's going to give me, I'll open the Yellow Pages listing for providers, suppliers, and manufacturers of coconut milk in Vietnam to check for multiple companies and their contact details. This will help us gather relevant information about potential suppliers. It's doing it all. It's acting like, I don't know, my sidekick, or like 25 sidekicks all at once. That's what GPT-5 is doing for me right now with agent mode. My point is, all that heavy lifting, all the traditional legacy business that we've been doing for 14 plus years here at Grovara is now being streamlined and automated with these AI agents, who are then doing 85% of the trade, and giving us more time to focus on customer service, user experience, and providing discounts and price breaks and new services to the brands and the buyers on our system. Yeah, it's still going. This thing will go for, I think, like 25 minutes. Last time I did this was like 20 minutes. I came back with a whole export plan. It had like, I asked it to come up with different types of, give me a couple of lists. It came back with like 25 lists. It gave me enough work product to keep me busy for like, I got 3 weeks of business in front of me after one query. This is that tsunami of innovation that AI is bringing to the table that you keep hearing about. Why is NVIDIA worth like trillions of dollars today? What is it, like $6 trillion today? Because there's a lot of people excited about the opportunity. I think it's a little overhyped, personally. But this is a magician in my hand for the first time in human history. It can tell me anything about anything, and anyone, anywhere can now do the role of 5 or 6 people in the palm of their hand. Everyone conveniently forgets that it took, I don't know, maybe like it's only been like 24 months since you needed to hire a graphic designer to create a logo for you, right? 24 months ago, if I wanted a logo made, it cost me $500 to $5,000, and it took 10 days to 10 weeks, depending on the agency or how I did it, if I was just going to one of those online websites. Now, if I want a logo, I type in exactly what I want the logo to look like, and even say like, in the style of The Simpsons, or in the genre of hyper-realistic, and it will make it look exactly the way we want. The technology is replacing people's jobs, but it's also evolving the landscape. There is an element of innovation and like human ingenuity that's being like compromised. Like originality is now something that's like something in question about like who like right now no one owns it. I'm glad to see platforms like YouTube now saying if you make AI content, you can't monetize it. Like that's good for the artist, so to speak, but then the artist is still getting cut out of the equation a lot of times. And there's a lack of innovation. There's like definitely a degree of like creativity that the human brings to the table and pushes the boundaries of credibility. It's not quite there yet, but maybe GPT-6, maybe that'll be what the future looks like. And all these different iterations keep getting, better and better. This is the dumbest the AI will ever be today. This is the dumbest the AI will ever be. And that's crazy to think, because like it keeps getting better and better. And then who knows what the future looks like. Maybe even my parents one day are gonna be wearing glasses, and recording everything they're doing for the gram, right? Is that what we're doing? Okay, so international business is now going to become like quicker, better, faster, which is interesting. That's a good and bad thing too, because on one end you want it to be quicker, better, faster, but the world doesn't work like that. Monopolies are slow-moving behemoths. Monopolies, the way the world works. Again, in America, we're blessed by not really having monopolies relative to other countries. I'll give you a good monopoly story. We had a product. I was looking for representation in Mexico, and I pitched a small distributor, and I pitched a monopoly. A guy who, like, one of these groups that owns like 95% of the market share for a certain market segment. And then I picked like a local distributor, mom and pop shop, literally a doctor and his wife who wanted to help bring health food products into a country, right? And I pitched them both. And at the end of the day, the monopoly's talking big numbers. I'm like, I'm going with the monopoly. Like, why would I waste my time working with a mom and pop shop, trying to break into the market? I'm gonna go with the monopoly. I went with the monopoly. And it was something like, don't quote me on exactly, because this is like 10 years ago, but the monopoly had a contract they sent us to sign, a distribution agreement, like everyone said. And in the agreement was like one paragraph where it said that they had to do a minimum of $50,000 a year in purchasing to have exclusivity for the product. And I'm like, if they're going to guarantee me it's 50,000. Of course, they're going to do a lot more than that. I don't care. That's fine for exclusivity. I signed the contract, right? And then what ends up happening? They buy the product and they pay me $50,000 a year, and then they just never release the product on the market. They just buy the minimum $50,000 a year. And then why? Why? Because why would they do that? Because if they brought my product in, it would compete directly with their product. So in order to keep me from competing directly with the better American-made version of what they're doing, it was cheaper for them just to pay me $50,000 a year and have me sign into a stupid contract. That's the type of tricks a monopoly plays. That's the type of things that a organization like the Trump, that's the type of thing that the Trump administration is trying to, shut down. And that's the type of thing that the Trump administration is talking about when they're saying unfair trade imbalances or trade treaties and unfair trade practices. That's an unfair trade practice. You got an American entrepreneur put in the time and the energy to really get a product into a market, spend thousands of dollars up front, put in hundreds of hours, and then taken advantage of by one product, one little paragraph. And what am I going to do about it? It's a monopoly in Mexico. I'm going to go to the embassy and make a big stink about this contract. Does the embassy even have time for me? Maybe. But it's not, business should be fun and it should be rewarding. And you put the time in up front to help build a supply chain. You shouldn't be compromised by someone's unfair trade practice. If you enjoyed this podcast, check us out on YouTube, LinkedIn, or subscribe on Spotify or Apple. Like, comment, subscribe, and always go global here at Grovara.